Welcome to Sunday afternoon curling from Ardsley Curling Club. Welcome to the Douglas International Men's Bonspiel 2022. Game will get underway in just a few minutes. In the meantime, we'll put that up. Running a little bit late. Glad you could join us this afternoon. And in our featured sheet on sheet B, we have throwing the Yellowstones will be Team Poole-Dayan with skip Greg Poole-Dayan, vice Dennis Mellerup, second is Danny Stesky, and lead is Bill Peskoff. And they'll be facing off against Team Raju, representing the Curling Federation of India. We have P.N. Raju as skip, Jiri Reddy as vice, Vinay Goenka as second, and Kishan Vasant throwing lead. Apparently a little rusty from over the summer. Let's actually put up those teams so that you can see them. And on our other sheets, we have the second event final on sheet A, over on the left side of your screen. Throwing the Yellowstones is Team Scheiner with skip Matt Scheiner, vice Chris Benino, second is Ryan Heidi, and lead Joe Pinella. They're up against a team from Broomstones, Team Mullaney with skip Evan Mullaney, vice Jack Cordis, second is Dick Dawson, and lead is Scott McLeod. And on the far right sheet, on sheet C, is the third event final, and that's Team Cenzalli from Cape Cod Bucks in Philadelphia. And their skip is Nick Cenzalli. Vice is Daniel Loffer. Second, Dylan Chiapka. And lead is Shah Basiri. And they're playing against the Yellowstones, team from Broomstones, Team O'Neill. The skip Mike O'Neill. Vice is Adam Jacobson. Second is Alex Taker. And lead Richard Brown. Featured sheet, Bill Peskoff is lead, throwing his first stone for Team Poole-Dayan. Okay, we have a correction for sheet C on Team Cenzalli. Their lead is, or their fifth is playing, Ethan Hebert.
I believe Ethan is playing in place of Shah today. And in case you missed it this morning, we had our 4th, 5th, and 6th events. And we have the results of those here. Our 4th event runners-up was Team Fry from Potomac with Michael Fry at skip, Craig Marquardt at vice, George Shirk at second, and Doug Andrew at lead. And the runners-up in the 4th event was Team Klein from Long Island with Tim Klein as the skip, Jack Glanzer vicing with Mike Nags playing second, and Mike Horowitz playing lead today, filling in for their regular lead, Ray Sink, who played the rest of the weekend. In our 5th event this morning, it was Team Mooney from Plainfield winning the event. And that was Mark Mooney at skip with John Wiedemann, Scott De Palma, and John Trader. And they won in, that was the, yes, that they won over Potomac, skipped by Dauernheim. Skipped by Brian Dauernheim with Stephen Enochson, Jeff Greck, and Paul Luthi. I hope I pronounced all those correctly. In the 6th event, we had Team Guzman from Broomstones as the winners. That was Benj Guzman at skip, Daniel Simard, Michael Sampson at second, and Mike McKenzie playing lead. And they won over Team Messing from Schenectady, which was Gert Messing at skip, Patton Jackson at vice, Marek Zonka at second, and Derek Kaiser playing lead. So those games were all at 10:45 this morning, Eastern Time.
Throwing second for Team Poole-Dayan is Danny Stesky. I have a hard time with his name. Stesky. He's got that old-timey lift and throw. Not really taught very much anymore to new curlers.
I should mention in our 5th event this morning, the game between Dauernheim and Mooney did go to an extra end, which is why we're a little bit late starting with these events. And it did come down to the final shot. It was a very exciting game for those of you who caught it. And that was also Team Dauernheim's second game in a row that went to an extra end. They played the 8 a.m. game this morning, went to an extra end, then had to get right back on the ice and play another game, and also went to an extra end and won both of them. No, excuse me, Mooney won the last game. Dauernheim won the first extra end game, but not the second.
Well, funny you should ask about upcoming events. Coming up in just a few short weeks, well, a month and a half or so, we have the Cool Deck Bonspiel, our 5 and under annual Ardsley Bonspiel. It's open to, well, it's not open to anybody right now because the Cool Deck is quite popular and sold out probably within, I believe, within hours of opening registration in August.
Minutes.
Was that?
It was sold out within minutes.
Well, hours are sort of a number of minutes, so there we go. So that's coming up on November 3rd through the 6th of this year. And then coming up later in the spring, we have the Ardsley Big Apple Bonspiel, another open event for anybody who wishes to enter. And that's in March 23rd through the 26th of 2023.
And registration for the Big Apple Bonspiel will be opening on December 15th at noon.
So get your teams together now and join us in Ardsley in lovely New York in the end of March.
Nice hit and roll by Greg Poole-Dayan, skip on sheet B, just to lie 2. This is the skip for Team India, PN Raju, trying to draw undercover. It's looking a little hot. So Greg missing an opportunity to draw for 3, coming up a bit light. So it'll be a score of 2 for team from, I guess they're playing as, are they playing as Plainfield?
Yeah, Greg Poole is on a team labeled for Plainfield.
They're playing as Plainfield. Of course, Greg is actually from Ardsley.
I think Dennis is also an Ardsley player.
Dennis actually plays at both clubs.
Does he play at both?
Yeah. Sweepers for India working very hard here to bring this corner guard as tight as possible. Danny Stesky with the old-fashioned lift delivery also. Greg asking him to take out that red stone and roll in. It looks a little narrow. Gets half the job done. Ticks off the guard and roll. Still gets the red out, but rolls out. Seth wants to know, what does everyone think of the renovation? Well, we didn't take an official poll, but everyone seems to like it. Everyone says it looks very nice, from what I've heard. Now, if they hated it, I'm not sure that they would tell me.
Yeah, for our longtime viewers, you may notice that the Ardsley Curling Club ice shed has got some fresh, bright blue paint. A bit of a makeover over the summer.
It looks very different.
It looks less like a industrial garage.
Yeah, when I first saw it, I admit, I thought, wow, this is going to take some getting used to. But to be honest, having played, did I play 6 games this weekend? I think I played 6 or 7 games this weekend. When you're out on the ice, I really didn't even notice the difference, you know.
So you're saying that the paint on the walls was not a distraction while you were playing?
I did not even notice the color of the paint on the walls when I was playing.
Okay. Then maybe they didn't go bright enough. Maybe they didn't go neon enough.
That could be.
Maybe. They did paint that spiffy yellow racing stripe down along the mid-center of the long walls.
Yes. Yeah, that is a nice touch.
And something you can't see on these cameras. I guess if you rewind the tape here to the Piper, you'll see the large house painted on the side wall of one of the houses. But that's out of view on our current camera views. But the Douglas this year is early in the year. Is this a postponed one from last spring when we didn't have high attendance, or is this a completely new event?
And we do owe a lot of credit to Matt Scheiner, who is currently on sheet A, who came up with the draw schedule for this event. This was a 4-game minimum guarantee with 6 events and 18 teams, which some of us didn't think would be even possible to come up with a draw schedule, and Matt came up with one that worked.
I think you had to go to 5 or 6 dimensions to calculate that draw. People said it wasn't physically possible. It violated the laws of physics.
Yes, I believed that it violated the laws of physics, but Matt came up with one. I commend him for that. There were a few oddities. You know, you ended up playing the same team twice every so often. But, you know, the fact that he came up with anything at all was, quite frankly, amazing.
Well, Matt is just that kind of guy.
Yep. I certainly would not have been able to come up with a draw schedule that would work.
Well, I have trouble coming up with a draw schedule when there's just 4 teams, so don't ask me. Dennis Mellerup. Throwing his second stone for Team Poole-Dayan.
Sweepers are working hard to keep this off the guard.
Well, Danny doesn't look like he's working very hard.
Well, that's a relative term.
Okay. Playing a lot of high stones. In fact, I think the only one in the house right now is there's a yellow stone just biting the the top of the 12.
Yeah.
None of those red stones are in play.
All right, that looks like what Raju is attempting to get rid of. This is Gary Reddy, who does manage to remove it from the rings, I believe.
It does look that way from our overhead cameras.
Yeah.
I think he was probably hoping for a hit and roll.
He was definitely hoping to hit it a little thicker and roll in, but he did remove it from play, but he rolled out the back. So this will be Greg with his first rock. He's got a couple of draw paths and a couple of potential raise opportunities. Looks like he's just going to squeak that through. Is it going to stay in? Looks like it is just outside the rings on the overhead cam. So Greg just shade heavy on that one.
They have not taken it into play, so I guess that must be not quite over the back line.
Yeah, it looks like it might just be biting the back line.
It's either that or they've elected to keep it there as a tripping hazard.
Well, that could be. Everyone does like to trip and fall on the ice.
Sure, that's what all the people who haven't tripped and fallen on the ice say.
Right. How bad could it hurt?
Well, quite a bit, I think.
Yes. I can tell you from experience, it does. So Raju is attempting to raise one of these reds. And he gets enough of that. Stay in the side of the 12-foot. Over on sheet C, we have Cenzalli lying 2, trailing by 1. Well, now they're lying 1 after the takeout by, who was that from Team O'Neill? That was Team O'Neill's last shot. So in our third event, Nick Cenzalli with a pretty open draw for 2. All he needs is full 12-foot. Sweepers seem to like the weight.
And so we'll see if we can get hold of club president Derek Kaiser at some point here. I believe he's currently holed up in an underground bunker in an undisclosed location. But we might be able to find him.
Yes, we probably need to make sure the FCC is not monitoring this if Derek takes the mic.
Come on, he's a club president. Presidents are refined and elegant and eloquent speakers.
So back on our featured sheet, we just had an error by Raju, who ended up, I believe, tapping Greg's Rocks in for some extra points. I didn't catch how many they scored, but we'll see what they hang. Sure, that may have been a burned rock on sheet B. Did you catch that?
I didn't catch that. If we had instant replay, we'd be able to tell, but
yeah,
we don't, so I don't know. Okay, so Poole-Dayan team did pick up another 2 in the second end. They are currently leading Team Raju 4-0 after the second end.
Not catch what happened on sheet A in the second end. I have to wait for.
Well, it looks like they
they
up
blanked.
a dead
I
end.
see. They blanked the end. Okay. Now I see it up there. So we have Team Mullaney up 1-0, and they're in the third end. This is Kishan Vasant, the lead for Team India, I believe. He's the one from, is he from Denver?
He is from Denver.
He's from the Denver Curling Club. Very nice club out in Denver. I had the opportunity to play there this summer. Nice people, beautiful facility, really nice, really good ice.
Now throwing for Team India, Curling Federation of India. It's Vinay Goenka. There's an Ardsley curler here. I think Vinay is probably the one who got his team together to come and convince them to play in New York in September.
Yes, I believe he put this team together for the Cool Duck a number of years ago. Vinay's family is actually sitting directly in front of us.
They're not on the ice, though.
They're not on the ice, no.
Good.
Though his older daughter will be a junior this year. That's Anya in the gray sweatshirt. Not that anyone other than you and I can see them.
I can confirm she's in a gray sweatshirt.
I would estimate she weighs about the same as a curling stone.
Yeah, that's a problem with a lot of juniors.
Yeah.
The curling stones are 42 pounds, and the juniors are often not much more. So it's sort of a toss-up between which one's going to go forward and which one's going to go backward when they deliver stones. That higher red on the right of the screen as you look at it is not quite biting the house, according to our overhead view. This is Dennis Mellerup, and he's throwing according to Greg's shoulder tap weight.
Normal, a nice hit and roll to the opposite side.
Now throwing for Curling Federation of India, the vice, Jerry Reddy.
Geary, I believe it's pronounced, yes. And looks like he may get that, going for that split, and looks like they are both just barely biting. Not sure the split was the actual call as opposed to the draw behind.
Looks like they both are biting the top of the 12-foot, but still outcounted by the Team Poole-Dayan Yellowstone.
Yes. Looks like Greg may be attempting to double these here. He will. So another good throw by Dennis Mellerup.
Over on sheet A, they are starting their fourth end after another blanked end in the third. So Team Mullaney from Broomstones is still up 1-0 over Team Scheiner from Ardsley.
defensive battle going on here.
Either that or nobody's strong enough to get it into the house.
Well,
I don't know. I haven't been watching. Have you?
not too closely, but
Okay. So
I
we
do
can't
know.
really tell if there were stones in the house or not.
But I do know all of Team Scheiner, and I played Team Mullaney. I think they're all capable of getting it to the house.
Maybe they're throwing through the house. A lot of possible reasons.
Yeah. We had a bit of a miss by Team Scheiner just a second ago on the takeout. So an opportunity for Mullaney, but looks like they're going to come up maybe a bit short on this.
According to our viewers who have been watching on Sheet A, sounds like it's a big hitting game.
Have they been throwing a lot of hits? I would imagine they have been with such a low score.
All hits all the time. It's a top 40 radio
Yet another
station.
hit. And this one will stay in, and... Or am I ahead? Did I give that away? Looks like it is maybe partially undercover, but probably reachable around the outside on sheet A. Looks like on sheet C, we have a potential big end shaping up for Team Cenzalli. Of course, they don't have the hammer in this end, though they do appear to be sitting 4.
Raju throwing right down to the... Okay, throws it right down to the Yellowstone in the 12-foot. Still looks like it's not out counting the Yellowstone.
I believe that is correct. I think he is now second shot, though. Looks like Greg is choosing to draw down to Raju's shot. Line is looking pretty good for Greg.
Line is looking very nice.
And very nice shot. Frozen right on that rock.
Looks like Team Poole-Dayan is sitting 2 yellow right now. Raju has the hammer in this end.
And some action over on sheet C. Nick Cenzalli with an attempt at a takeout here that could possibly leave them sitting 5. And it looks like he's just going to be a bit wide and flash by.
And the A event final in the middle sheet. Raju picks up 1 point in the third end.
So how many viewers do we have out there on YouTube?
Looks like we have about
25.
And then if we multiply by the, that's I think they truncate that, so I think that's like hundreds of viewers.
Yes.
So I think it's
2,500 viewers. Yeah,
that sounds more realistic.
Yeah. How many of them are in this room? Do you think?
I don't see anybody sitting with their phone and watching the game that's on the big screen through the glass window.
Yeah, so let us know where you're from in the chat. Ask us questions. Give us stuff to talk about. Unless you want to hear us talk about curling. But we'd like to know where people are watching from, which teams you're rooting for, which teams you know.
I think I bet one of our viewers, or at least a couple of our viewers, are probably some of the sports bars have this on the TV. So there's really like hundreds of people watching on a Sunday afternoon.
Well, yeah,
all the bars throughout Westchester.
Yeah, ESPN wanted to carry this, but we turned down their offer. They weren't willing to pay enough. I see a couple of Go Team Rajus. One's from Jim Mantia, who just left here a short while ago. And I can't see the other one. Sai Manjari, it says. Sai, where are you watching from? From India. Wow. That's great. We have viewers watching in India.
We can claim worldwide viewership.
Yeah. On from Broomstones.
Brother Raju.
You flew Ethan in from Minnesota. Yeah, he was mentioning that he had come in from school in Minnesota. I was chatting with Ethan the other night. Oh, Raju is your brother, Sai. Raju is from San Francisco, I believe. Is that?
That's the curling club that he is curling at right now.
Second for Team Raju. Sweeper's working hard to try and get this by the guard. It's just gonna tick off the guard and sit as a guard. Jim Ante is on the Team Raju bandwagon now.
Speaking of Minnesota curlers, we've got some competition in the warm room with another YouTube game being played in Blaine, Minnesota, between Team Casper, Skip Danny Casper, who's started at Ardsley, and Corey Dropkin, who has Andrew Stopera playing on his team, another Ardsley curler. Right now, I can't tell how many ends they have played, but Dropkin is ahead 5-3 over Casper. Good sweep here by Gary to just get that by the guard. Get the little tick and a slight roll. I believe Team Raju is now sitting shot. Greg will attempt to remove it. Over on sheet C, looks like Cenzalli managed to steal one in the third and now has a 3-1 lead over Team O'Neill. And it looks like on sheet A, Team Scheiner, we finally have another point in that game. And it was a 1 for Scheiner in the fourth, so they're now tied at 1 apiece in the fifth end. Dennis Meller up. This one's got some heat behind it. So he's trying to come in off his own rock. Won't quite get inside enough. Over on sheet A, it does appear that red stone at the top of the 12 is biting the 12. For anybody who's asking.
Sheet C, Daniel Loffer with a nice hit and flop right in front of the yellow. Jim, you would like me to thank the real John Schuster? Thank you, John Schuster.
Well, you're welcome.
Derek was sitting in front of us, but he's not there anymore. It appears...
With that top hat and that red and white striped shirt, you'd think it would be easier to see where is Derek.
Yeah. It appears many of Benet's family have arrived.
Where is Amy?
Some more.
Amy who?
Where is Amy?
There's no Amy here.
I haven't seen Amy today.
I haven't seen any Amy's here today.
Amy was here late last night. I don't think she came in today.
Amy's home.
Oh, there's Amy in the chat.
There's Amy.
Of course, I was also here late last night. And I had to have a rooster wake me up this morning. I had to be here so early.
You keep roosters?
Well, no, but, you know, I was lucky enough to have the last draw last night and the 8 a.m. draw this morning.
Yeah, but the last draw last night ended at 9 o'clock.
Oh, you didn't have to mention that.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
The last draw last night and then this morning.
Yeah.
So last night we had the strongest sweeper competition. How'd that work out? Were you here?
I was here. They started it while we were still playing. Our game in the final draw last night went to an extra end. It was a very exciting game for anyone who watched it. We were down by 4 after 7, scored 4 in the 8th to tie, and then stole the extra end for the win, and that's what put us here at 8 o'clock this morning. Otherwise, we could have stayed in bed today. But yeah, the sweeping competition, I believe, was won by Jeff Greck of Potomac, formerly of Plainfield.
And that was measured by a smart broom that we have one of. It's got a force sensor in the head.
Yes, I believe this. I believe it has a pressure sensor and accelerometers and who knows what else, but it measures your pressure, your downward pressure on your forward stroke, on your backstroke, and it also measures your strokes per second. How many strokes per second, and then it calculates it using some algorithm that nobody can understand and spits out a seemingly random number. And the higher that number, the better sweeper you are. I did the sweeping competition, but it was right after I had just been sweeping for 9 ends. So.
And you were hoping it was more like a golf score.
Yeah.
Where lower
it was
better. Yeah.
I've used the smart broom a number of times before, and this was by far the lowest I had ever scored on it after sweeping extremely hard for 9 ends. So it is amazing how much less effective you are sweeping at the end of a game than when you are fresh.
And while we were talking about smart brooms, it looks like Team Poole-Dayan snuck in a yellow stone pretty close to the button to outcount Team Raju. Still,
yes,
I
and
think
he's throwing
Greg
away
is just
his
gonna
last
throw away
one.
that last rock and just take his 1 point.
Yep, that's true. So that makes it 5-1. Team Poole-Dayan, which we'll call it Plainfield Ardsley, since it's Plainsley. Yeah, Ardsfield. Since 2 of them are Plainfield, one is half Plainfield, half Ardsley, and one is full Ardsley.
Is it the top half that's Ardsley and the bottom half that's Plainfield, or is it like his left and his right?
The front end is all Plainfield. The back end is Ardsley, but Dennis also does play at Plainfield. Oh, you were making a joke, weren't you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
And over on sheet C, it looks like Cenzalli has taken a commanding lead after 4 ends.
Oh, yeah, look at that. They scored a 4 in the 4th, so... that game seems to be well in hand for Cenzalli, leading 7-1 now after 4 ends.
Still plenty of time left.
Oh, yes. There's an entire half a game left.
I think somebody wants them to hurry. Have they ever thought about, asking more politely rather than all that screaming?
Please, like saying, would you please sweep harder?
Yeah, too many words, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess by the time you get all that, the entire sentence out, the stone will be at the other end of the ice. So you would think if speed, if the speed of communication were an issue, people would just be using, some sort of grunts and squawks.
Well, I've been known to. So we just had a flash on sheet B, so an opportunity here for Team Raju. An opportunity to lie 2. Of course, it is very early in the end. This is still Leeds Rocks. And this looks like, oh, they're not even going for that. They're just going to guard what they have. A very nice corner guard put up by Kishan Vasant. The best part of skipping, screaming at people, and it's totally acceptable. That's true. So I think the shot on sheet B is a little bit deeper than they had intended. There's a possible double opportunity for Vinay. Hoping to double these out and roll over to the right. Looks like he's a little wide on this. The sweeper's trying to push it over. And he'll just catch the edge and roll out. So back on sheet A, it looks like Mullaney took 2 in the 5th to go up 3-1. And over on sheet C, Cenzalli applying yet more pressure as they're lying 2 without hammer, but a commanding lead. Couldn't see who threw it. Over on sheet C is sitting second. Looks like Nick wants to chip it out. This will be Daniel Laffer over on sheet C. Trying to chip this yellow rock right through that hole. What a shot. Great shot by Daniel. Back to our feature sheet. Raju trying to find a way to come up with at least 2 in this end. Trying to hit and roll under the one corner guard that they have. Sweepers are on this hard, but looks like it may be over curling. Yes. And, over on sheet C, a nice little double takeout there by Team O'Neill. Cenzalli is still lying 1. That red in the top 12 is outcounting the yellow in the back 12. Feature sheet, looks like they're going to try and at least get 2 of these yellow rocks out of there. And pretty good shot by Gary. Removes 1, pushes the other over under the corner guard, but not quite out of the rings. And it looks
from
like
the overhead camera, it looks like that yellow rock might still be counting the red rock in the 12 foot.
Yes, indeed. So looks like Greg's going to try and remove that red and sit 3, which is going to make it very difficult for Team Raju to come up with more than 1 in this end. And of course, for anyone watching who's new to curling, when you have the hammer, which is the last rock, you always want to try to score 2 or more. And when you don't have the hammer, you try and force your opponents to score 1 so that you can get the hammer back. And that's our curling 101 for the day.
And nice shot by Greg Poole-Dayan. Took out the red rock, rolled in front of his yellow. Now sitting 3 in the house.
Back to sheet C. The draw attempt came up a bit light. They were trying to draw in behind that red stone. Came up a little short. Apparently something exciting happened in the game on our television involving Danny Casper's team against Andrew Stapera's team. And Raju with a very nice double takeout. We now have Derek Kaiser joining us. Derek, of course, is the organizer of this spiel. Just trying to get his headphones working so he can hear us. Hello, Derek. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm here now.
All right. So put the children, send the children away. Derek now has a microphone.
What's that supposed to mean?
I don't know. He seems to think that you're going to say something
Some bad words? Not me.
rude and inappropriate.
Not
But
me,
you
I
have
don't know.
you've got a lot of fans out there online that have been asking for you. Well, one.
Oh, my daughter or something?
No, isn't she here?
Who's been asking for Derek?
Seth.
Seth's been looking for Derek.
Seth wanted Derek to say a few words about what it's like to be club president.
Oh, and breaking news, we have handshakes on sheet C. So looks like Cenzalli is the winner of, what is that? That's our third event. Yes. So the third event winners, Team Cenzalli over Team O'Neill in 5 ends.
Looks like Team India's having a hard time getting things together, huh? They just scored 1 point on that end. But
Yeah.
they played an incredible game yesterday where not only did they not miss a shot, but they didn't miss a perfect roll after a shot. So they might be just having a bad day today, it looks like.
Well, as we all know, that sometimes happens. Some days the rocks roll your way, some days they don't. The
So applause in
applause.
the warm room for the teams leaving the ice on the third event.
So we'll see how that affects the ice conditions for sheet B. Now with nobody on sheet C.
I should slow it down a little bit.
This rock is just a little heavy by Bill Peskoff. I believe that was intended to be a corner guard. It sails into the back 12. And we have a special guest joining us right now. Let's see if she can hear us. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
This is
Vinay's daughter, Anya.
Amazing Anya is her. That's her handle on in her. She's one of our newest members.
So you're enjoying the game?
Yeah.
Yeah, who are you rooting for?
India.
India, I wonder why that is.
Why are you rooting for India?
Because my dad's playing.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
So you don't just really hate the other team?
No.
No, okay.
So Anya's going to be playing this year in juniors.
So you're going to be playing in juniors this year,
Yeah.
starting on Sundays? When? Not today, right? Starts
Next week.
next Sunday.
Yeah.
Have you been on the ice before?
Yeah, last year.
Did you throw some stones?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to be a ringer?
Maybe.
Maybe. Going to put a banner up for you, yeah, pretty soon.
You gonna play mixed doubles with your dad someday?
Does he play mixed doubles?
Does Benet play mixed doubles? I don't know.
Oh, okay. Got a lot of juniors that started because their parents started curling.
Yep. Some of them are on TV.
Some of them are on TV now. You know, Danny Casper started here as a junior. He's up on TV now, playing against Andrew Stapera.
Andrew Stapera, who also started here as a junior. And still plays here when he's back around for holidays or whenever he comes back home to visit.
Okay, thank you, Anya.
Thank you.
So we're getting into the latter stages of these games. I'd say this is a pretty big end for Raju. They're going to have to come up with multiple points here. And they are going to need to steal those points as Team Poole-Dayan has the hammer. Over on sheet A, Team Scheiner has crept a bit closer with 1 in the 6th, so we have a 1-point game over there. It's 3-2 Mullaney.
Oh, and Raju's stone or Vinay's stone, just over the hog line on sheet B.
Yep. I didn't quite see what the call was, but
Yeah,
I'm guessing
not sure
it
what the call
wasn't a 1 guard.
No, probably not. It just looked like it was struggling to get over the hog line a little bit.
Yeah. Like we said, the ice is probably going to be slowing down on sheet B now that sheet C has left the ice.
There are no warm bodies on the ice and a little bit of activity over there. Ice tends to change character a little bit.
So Greg now in defensive mode, just trying to remove stones. And he is lying 2 in the back, I think. Raju is looking to draw in under that, maybe under that high guard that Vinay threw. There was a lot of ice for that. For those wondering how the ice has been this weekend, it's I would say it's been playing a little straighter than it usually does here. Typically, we get about 4 feet of curl. We've only been getting maybe 2 feet of curl this weekend.
Well, it is. How's Derek feeling? I don't know. Derek, he's
well,
standing instead of sitting now.
Derek was only pretending to sweep.
Derek never really sweeps.
He doesn't really sweep.
No.
Yeah. He just rubs his broom on the ice. He doesn't really,
I think Derek scored in negative numbers when he did the strongest sweeper.
Yeah. It said, please put broom on the ice. So as I was saying, the ice has been playing a little straighter this weekend than those of you who have played at Ardsley before might be used to. And I would say Thursday night it started off pretty slow, and it has sped up somewhat over the course of the weekend.
Well, it's fresh ice.
It is fresh ice. The ice was just finished being made the day before this Bonspiel, so it's not like we've had a lot of scrapes and played leagues and everything on it. So this is brand new ice, so we weren't 100% sure how it would play this weekend. So
I think it's new water this year also. I don't think they reused the water from last year, did they?
I don't know. We might have saved it in a bucket somewhere.
Did we save it?
Jim says 2 feet sounds about right. And yes, it was especially straight going down the center, just off the center line to either side. Tended to stay pretty straight.
So right now on sheet B, Raju is getting ready to throw his first rock. Currently there's 2 red stones out counting the closest team pool stone. So if they can capitalize on a couple stones this end, they're right back in the game for the remaining few ends.
Probably want to guard what they have in there, make Greg have to draw against 2. I didn't see what his call was. Maybe it's, putting a third one in buried wouldn't be a bad call either. That appears to be what he is doing. Yeah, it's a nice shot. That's pretty well covered. So Team Raju now lying 3. It's a pretty easy hit for Greg to remove at least one. What's happening over on sheet A? No rocks in the house.
Nothing in the house after 6 ends. Looks like Mullaney is up.
Oh, wait, no, there is a rock. I think that yellow rock might be biting. Our overhead monitor is
A little acting up.
Yeah, it's on the fritz, you would say. But I think that yellow stone is biting in the corner on sheet A. It's kind of like watching, when I was a kid, the cable channels that you didn't subscribe to.
Yeah,
How they came in scrambled. Yeah.
Yeah, but not quite as exciting.
Did I give I just dated myself here. Some people are wondering what the hell I'm talking about. So Evan Mullaney on sheet A, his shot is going to stop in the back 8, so that'll be shot for now. So Raju back on sheet B, trying to. I think he's trying to put a third rock in the top 12. Put some pressure on Greg to try and draw against 3. Sweepers are working very hard to get this to the house. Will they do it? Will they get it there? Yes. But is it out counting all the yellows?
Oh, I don't think it's that one's not out
I
counting
don't think
the
it's
back
out
yellow.
counting. No, it isn't.
Right now, it looks like red is sitting 1.
Yeah. One or two. Do they have one in the back?
Unless he's standing over a rock.
Yeah.
Oh, he is standing over a rock. Yep, Dennis is standing right in front of a red rock. So there's sitting 2
So
red.
I think it's 2 red right now, yeah. So Greg's shot is away, and remember, as I said, this is a pretty straight line, although it's not on the screen yet, but it is starting to curl, but this looks like it's going to go right
heavy.
through, so it will be a steal of 2 for Team Raju. That's exactly what they needed. And they're right back in this at 5-4. That's that straight center line I was just talking about earlier. Over on sheet A, everyone's struggling to get a rock over the hog line. Even Matt Scheiner came out to sweep, and it looks like they just barely did get it over. And this is the 8th end on sheet. Is that possible? Yes, this is the 8th end on sheet A, and we have yet another blank in the 7th. So, in our second event on sheet A, it is Team Mullaney up 1 with the hammer in the 8th. So Matt Scheiner trying to set up for a steal. The way to do that, of course, is by putting up guards. I believe Evan is actually calling a tick shot here. Looks like it is hanging out. As I said, not a lot of curl. Plus, it was also a little heavy, which will certainly not help it curl. So an opportunity here for Scheiner to come up with a steal. is his second, Ryan Heidi. Ryan is a member of both Ardsley and Nutmeg, which is one of our close neighbor clubs. They're about an hour away in Bridgeport, Connecticut. And this is now the end of the free guard period of the end, so Evan looking to remove some of these guards. So he removes a guard, but he does leave the shooter, so doesn't quite accomplish what he was hoping. This rock by Ryan has a little bit more weight on it, which is what Matt was looking for. He's looking to draw in under those guards. And this will stick around in the back of the house. And Evan going to go for the peel again. Remember, Team Mullaney does have the hammer in this end, so he's just trying to keep things open for his last shot. And that's going to be a great shot. Not quite sure they anticipated that, if they were actually going for that angle run back, but it's quite a good result for Team Mullaney. And in our first event on sheet B, it looks like it's close between the yellow and the red. On the overhead camera, it looks to be yellow, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would
Is sitting
tend
shot.
to agree with that. A little hard to tell.
Yeah, I think on the front view, it probably looks like it's red, but on the overhead view, it does look like yellow is shot. It is early in the end. These are only seconds rocks, so plenty of time. As Danny Stesky will peel the guard. Raju looking for a draw to the top 8, sit right in front of that yellow, make it difficult to remove his stone without removing the yellow. And this rock looks a pretty decent shot from Gary, maybe a little heavier than they wanted. And it will tick the yellow out to the side and set up what should be a pretty easy double for Dennis.
So if your team Poole, do you try to win this end with as many stones as you can? Do you, and then hope that you don't give up any stones in the 8th end without the hammer? Or do you sort of, let them perhaps steal one, then keep the hammer going into the 8th?
Go into the 8th tied. Well, I think if you have the opportunity to get 2, you take 2 and go into the 8th up 3 without. That would be my preference.
Right now with the hammer, well, there's still a bunch of stones left to go, so it's early to tell.
Yeah, I'd rather be up 3 without hammer than tied with, to be honest. Well, I guess it would, of course, depend on the team and if your team is able to make hits. If you're up 3 without hammer, you gotta, as long as you can make your hits, you'll be fine. But if you have a team that's not good at hitting, then that may not be a good strategy. Also would depend on who was throwing the last rock for my team.
That's true. So.
And how good their draw weight is.
So right now, Poole is asking Dennis Mellerup to hit that red stone on the nose, or just off the nose, to go into the yellow to get that back red out.
So this would be a...
And I guess he's hoping that that yellow will also take off outside the house.
So this would be a double run back that he's looking for. And looks pretty close. Wow, what a shot.
And he does what he called for.
Did exactly that. And it's now 3 yellow.
Now I think we're up to the first skip rock for Raju.
That is correct.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is Raju's first. He doesn't have a hammer, so he's probably looking to freeze to something. Scheiner with a brilliant draw. Let's see. Someone said in the comments. And I missed it.
Can watch it later on the sports
I'll
recap
have to
on
watch it.
ESPN.
And this may tap Scheiner even closer. Scheiner is now sitting 2. So what do you do? Well, what do you try to protect? You got to try and protect that rock on the side of the 4-foot, I think. Yeah. The run back double on the red with the red. Yeah, I mean, there's that. Right, you could come straight through the port between the yellow and the red guard and double those yellows out. Or they could come around. Well, let's just wait and see what Scheiner does here. This is... The sweepers are saying it looks hot. now they're on it, and it's going to guard that. So he guarded the yellow in the back four, which I think Mullaney would have had a pretty easy shot at, which would have won the game for him. So I think his only chance now is running it right through that port and doubling those yellows and not jamming that top yellow into the back. Appears he has about 1.5 to a 2-foot port.
Yeah, no, a great shot by Greg Poole over on B.
It is a tight line, but as we said, the rocks have been running pretty straight, so it's not that hard to get through that port. He does. And the result looks like 1 yellow, so we're going to go to an extra end on sheet A.
Over on B, Greg Poole had a great shot there to take out the red.
Oh, he
I think
did.
2 reds. Was it 1 or 2 reds? I forgot already.
Wow.
That was
yeah.
sitting, or 2 reds. He took out 2 reds.
So this is Raju's last, and
This
he's
is Rogers, and he's down.
trying. Yeah, he has to draw against 4, and he doesn't have hammer.
He does not have hammer.
So he really needs to freeze here, I think. He needs to freeze and out count. If he freezes on the where's the instead he'll nose that one. And
So Greg Poole.
it's currently 1 yellow, but that red is wide open. So
Yeah.
I've seen Greg make this shot 1,000 times. Mike Shaloub, hello. Anyone see Danny Casper's long angle raise to tie Dropkin?
No, but I heard
Lost
about
an
it in the
extra,
back
though.
of us.
I think a lot of people here did see that. Yeah, we heard a big rousing ovation.
I know the Casper saw it.
Yes, from the Gaspers we heard a big rousing ovation. So Greg will remove that red. Oh, and jam on his own and lose the shooter. So it'll be 2 yellow. So it just didn't come back quite enough. He caught it a little too far on the outside. But now Greg has a 3-point lead without hammer. This is the exact situation we were talking about earlier.
He does. So he actually has a pretty good lead.
Of 3 without hammer.
3 without hammer.
So I imagine he's not going to want any guards here. And this looks like it's going to be a guard. Did you see what he called? He didn't call for a guard. Oh.
No, well, it's not,
Actually,
not
it's
quite
not,
a guard.
It's not
it's
a guard.
on the top of the 12-foot.
It is in the house. Okay. But wisely, Raju is going to ignore that rock and set up to try and score multiples with a corner guard. And again, you know, the rock's staying pretty straight, so only got a couple feet of curl. And it sails in a little deeper than they want, so Greg's able to take it out. That is Bill Peskoff, and he's going to go right by, so break for Team Raju. And over on sheet A, Matt Scheiner trying once again very hard to steal an end. And we had a flash by Team Mullaney. That's the... Is that the second on Team Mullaney or the lead? What was that? So Greg now on sheet B asking Danny Stesky to remove at least one of these two reds, if not both. That's coming with some heat. And
Does remove both of
does
them.
get both of them. So that's going to make it a lot more of a challenge for Team Raju to come up with three. Going to try to draw behind those two yellows. Again, I think this is a lot of ice for how straight the ice has been. And as you see, it settles right in the top 12 and doesn't quite curl enough. We're on sheet A. We have Chris Benino, who is the vice for Matt Scheiner, attempting a draw, and this looks like it's going to settle nicely right in the top 4 foot. So Team Scheiner lying 2, again without hammer and nothing guarding them. sheet B, it looks like this rock may be over curling. I think he overcompensated on the amount of ice that he took, and he ended up tapping the Yellowstone, so it's now fully buried. This is Dennis Mellerup trying to remove the red stone. And he'll not only remove the red, but he'll also remove one of his own yellows as well.
At this point, Raju is probably counting their stones there.
Yeah.
Probably both counting their stones, but...
yeah, Raju, I think, needs to freeze to that one on the 4-foot. I don't think there's many other options that he has. And this rock, when it comes into view, no, he's going for the outside. Okay.
Corner.
He's going, yeah, he was trying to bury it in the corner. And it comes up light. So what do you do if you're Greg here? You don't want to put up a guard. Could remove the reds.
Could remove the
Or
reds and just make sure that they don't tap them out.
Could even just throw through. I mean, I might even just throw through here if I'm Greg.
I think that might be what he's calling for.
Is he?
Hit the red.
He could hit the red. He might be worried about a jam, if he gets too far on the outside. Yeah, I think he called for a throw through. The problem with hitting the reds, of course, you get a jam, you could get a wick, you could get that high red wicking off the other one and rolling in. So Raju now attempting to go under those corners again. This rock's looking a little better. Yeah, settles in nicely in the back of the house, though I do think there's room for Greg to get at it with a soft weight takeout. And in our second event, we're down to Skips Rocks. Matt Scheiner, probably looking to guard, or maybe, yeah, he's got to be looking to guard. He's sitting back 12. He can bury this behind those reds, but I don't think he's going to get that much curl. I don't quite think that's what he wanted. So Mullaney now with an opportunity to come down and sit on those back yellows. And this is the hammer. Am I?
Yep, that's the
Correct.
last rock. So any place in front of those two yellows will do it for him. Well, not any place, or he can't be out in front of the house.
Well, yeah. So he has the backing. But, you know, a hit and rolling out will be a win for Scheiner. It's pretty soft weight, but the weight does appear to be there. So it's all about the line here. And Scheiner sweeping hard. And our monitor looks like it is, I think it's red.
Yeah, I can't tell.
It looks like red to me. They are shaking.
Yeah, Mullaney
I think
came up ahead.
I think they all agree that it was red. So the winner of the second event is Team Mullaney.
Oh, we have handshakes over on our first event as well.
And the first event, yes, is over as well. So
ran out of rocks.
yes, so the winners of the 2022 Douglas is Team Poole-Dayan from Plainfield, and we're going to say Ardsley. That is Greg Poole-Dayan at skip, Dennis Mellera playing vice, Danny Stesky at second, and Bill Peskoff at lead. And the runners-up is from the Curling Federation of India, Team Raju, PN Raju at skip, Giri Reddy playing vice, Vinay Goenka at second, and Kishan Vasant at lead. That's your winners and your runners-up. And with that, we hope you'll join us again for the Cool Duck.
Coming up in November 3rd through the 6th, 2022. In case you're watching this several years from now, it's already passed. It was in 2022. And then the Big Apple Bonspiel coming up in 2023 in March.
Yes, so any of you curlers out there, it's far too late to register for the Cool Duck, but remember, registration for the Big Apple opens December 15th. We'd love to see you all here at Ardsley, and we hope to see you then.
This has been a presentation of the Ardsley Curling Club streaming broadcast system.
Any rebroadcast, other use, or transmissions without the express written consent of who?
Of us, I guess.
Us
I guess.
is
Expressly forbidden.
yeah, or we'll say don't do that again.
Yeah, don't do that again. You've been watching the Douglas International Men's Bonspiel from Ardsley Curling Club. Thanks for watching.
So long.
Good night.